although this car doesn't have a 12 volt battery in it, it is important that before you do any work on your E6 you disconnect the 12 volt battery, particularly when things like airbags are involved, and you will be removing the airbag. So we're going to do a quick video on how to remove and reinstall the BYD E6 multi-function cluster. These are known for, certainly in the later model cars, being a bit dodgy. The older ones are better. You can actually change the micro switches in them if you're really brave, but otherwise you can quite often buy them off AliExpress and places like that. It is a pretty simple job. So here we are in the mighty BYD E6, and this is the unit we're going to replace right here. You need a T30 Torx bit, security bit, to remove the airbag. There are two holes either side of here, one on each side, which there is a Torx bolt behind. So start off by removing those. Or, sorry, that's not really true. Don't remove them, just loosen them off. I'll show you in a minute, but when you loosen them off, the airbag will become loose, and then you can actually get it out without removing the bolts. It makes it easier to reinstall. So as you can see, the Torx is in there, and if we just tighten it, you'll see it comes loose pretty easily. And now if we just give it a few turns to make it, sorry, retarded for me, if you just loosen off a little bit, doesn't need to be super loose, just makes it easier to get back in again if you don't shake the bolts out. So now, as you can see, the airbag is now a bit loose. Now you actually need to turn the steering wheel each way so the bolt drops down and frees the airbag, but once you do that, the airbag will come out and you are presented with the airbag plug. Alrighty, so we're at the back of the airbag now, and I mean, once again, you can just leave this here if you want to, but it is easy to get out. You just lift this little yellow tag up, and as you can see, that's now raised up, and it will just unplug very easily. And so now your airbag is unplugged. And you can take that out and put it to the side, and now it can no longer hurt you. You do have to be cautious with airbags. They are little explosives, so care is required. And now, as you can see, we have a little bolt here, a little Phillips screw here, and there is another one in the back, which I'll try and show you now. It's a little challenging. So it is this one over here. That is that there. That's a Phillips screw. You need to undo that Phillips screw or you will break it. And we'll do that now. So there's a second screw on the other side. You can do it without removing this one, but there is the potential, like it is easier if you take this whole plastic cover off. Like if you remove that, you're just less likely to damage things. So I'm going to take that screw out. So if I've done it right, this little plastic cover should come off without breaking anything else, which it has, and we've got that off. I mean, you don't actually need to remove it, but it is just, you don't want to break anything, and I find that taking it off makes it a bit safer. So now we're going to remove this little screw here, this Phillips screw here, that you can see right here. So that actually holds it in. It is pretty simple. Okay, so it's out now, and as you'll see, it's actually, the actual thing's actually mounted behind this piece of, it's a bit hard to see. Maybe if I turn the flash on, you might be able to see. So as you can see, there is this. This is the actual piece you're removing. It's in behind this little plate, but you don't need to take that off. It does come out, no worries at all. Now, looking back to the actual original unit we were looking at to installing, you'll see that it's actually installed by these little plugs. So you've got that screw coming in from the back, and then you've got these little plug pieces, these little black plastic plug pegs, which kind of click in. So they'll just pop out, fingers crossed. And you've got two plugs, obviously. If you've got a pretty new car, right, and you are installing an older switch unit like this one here, because in reality the older switch units out of the 2017 cars actually, and earlier cars, are actually much more reliable than the micro switches they use in the later model ones. I don't know why, but these almost always fail over time, where these ones seem to go for 2 million kilometers. So you can actually remove the screws on either side and transcode the buttons into your nice new housing. Show you how it comes out. So all we do is we take the bottom, we give it a bit of a pull, and you'll see it's popped out of its little house. And then we do the same at the top, which is probably a little bit awkward with only one hand, but it will come out. And there we go. Unfortunately, this one has actually broken. So they do that in the old ones. So I'll replace this outside cover for them. But now you are at the stage. I mean, it will still go in because it's still screwed down, but you know, that is a risk. Oh yes, there's not much you can do about that. I don't think we've ever had it happen before. It's always going to happen when you're making a video. Okay, so we're over on the bench and we've got these two units out, and all we're going to do is remove these screws, just the ones that hold them down, and we're going to swap the switches from one unit to another. So as you can see, there's these little clips here. You just kind of flip a screwdriver, which is awkward while holding my phone, in there, and as you can see, that's clipped up now and it'll pull out. No worries. And now we will reinstall them into the next unit. Trap for young players, you do need to install the top switch before the bottom switch because they overlap the little plastic mounts down here. Oh, it's a bit hard to see, but one is over top of the other, and they will break if you try and install them in the wrong order. Alrighty, and we've got a freshly, although slightly broken unit, which I'm just going to install back into the car to show you how to install one. It's very simple, and also just that means I know where this one is. And this old parts rack over here. It's a great colour though. I'm actually going to fix this car. It's actually pretty tidy for something with like 400,000 Ks on it, but it's got all the original HDT stuff on it, which they almost never come with any labels. So I'm going to get my taxi sign going. I've got a brand new battery sitting over there, came out of another car. It is brand new, and I'm going to drive this car because I think that will be hilarious. So we're back in the car. We need to plug in these two plugs. I can't do well holding the phone. So we've plugged both of those in. I'll just turn the flash on. So we need to line that. So you need to hook it in behind that. There's that little piece of plastic. You can see it sits up below it. And then just position it. Obviously I've got one little plug that is broken, but that's pretty rare. It won't happen when you're putting it in. And just push them in. And now that is in there. So now we can install this little cover here, which is pretty simple. Just kind of clips in here. The E6 for an EV, it's a pretty basic car to work on. This is one of the things I like about it, even though parts can be a little bit challenging to get. But I do have pretty much every part for an E6 that, in fact, you'll see over there, there's a significant pile of bits that need to be sorted. Alright, so now we need to reinstall the airbag, which involves putting the plug back on again. Actually, before we do that, we need to put the screw in here, and I'll also put the two screws in the back, so that we're all finished there. This screw here is the one. It is a little machine screw, and it just all going to plan, goes in that hole, like yay. And screw it up. Like new. So then we're going to take these two little plastic screws, and there's two the same. The other one's just sitting down there at the moment. And we're going to put those into those holes that we found in the rear. So we've installed the screws in the back, and now we are going to install the airbag. So as you can see, if you look down here, there's a bolt there, and there is a bolt there. So you need to kind of lever these back slightly. So if you straighten the steering wheel so that it's nice and straight, and then you take a little screwdriver, is the easiest way I've found, and you just push that screw back a little bit. If I could not do it without shaking, it would be good. You don't want to send it too far. Right, now the airbag should just push in the top. Obviously you need to plug it in first, so we'll do that first. So we'll take our airbag plug. So we've pushed our airbag plug in, and then we just push in this little yellow clippy thing, and it is ready to go. Alright, so this car can be slightly challenging, and you might need to reposition your screws. But basically you need to get it so that the airbag sits in it's going to go in first time. So now the airbag's in, you just need to tighten up those Torx bolts that you loosened off before, which is a pretty simple task with your 30. Your Torx 30, just stick her in the hole in the side, which is challenging when you've got a phone you are trying to do a video of, but it's alright. Tighten that up, give it a good firm tweak. I'm just using the other end obviously to give it a bit of a, to tighten it up more, make sure it's nice and tight. Not crazy, but just tight. Airbag should be nice and still-ish. I mean, the horn's still going to move. And there you go, you have installed your things.